Someone spit in my mouth.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
Okay, somebody spit in my mouth, and I thought that this would be the perfect forum to discuss it with you and with you. I think there's some things that...
Were you awake?
I want to break this thing apart, and I want to see what can be learned, and I want it to be different next time.
Well, it sounded like you might be requesting that someone do it.
At the top of the episode.
Because of the problem with the spit and the tense, the present.
Someone
and the
spit
past.
in my mouth. No, I'm making a statement.
This is why it should be someone spat in my mouth.
What? Yeah.
Or someone spitted in my mouth.
So to clarify, someone spat in my mouth very recently.
Someone has spat.
And I feel like I need to process it on the internet.
You might need to get tested.
Christy, my wife, and I went out for an intimate dinner for two. We call
Was
that
it your wife?
We call that a date. Yeah, Christy, my wife, not Christy, anyone else.
No, I'm saying, was she the one that spit in your mouth?
Oh,
I mean, listen, I'll let you tell your story.
So, no, it was not her, Christy, my wife, or Christy, anybody else. So we're sitting there, and
Eating?
No, not even eating. The waiter comes up and he says, "What would you like to drink?"
Oh, me.
And that's when it happened. Somewhere in the drink verbiage, spit flew out of his mouth and landed in my mouth because I was turning to look at it.
Well, maybe they're trained at this restaurant to do that when they say drink.
Yeah,
I don't. And here's a little sample. Right?
Yeah. Would you like to drink my spit? And I was just, my reaction was just like, and I said, "We'll just have water."
And a little spit.
And he walks off, and I'm just sitting there reeling. And
well, hold on. How big was it?
A few observations. It was white. It had a trajectory not much unlike this. It kind of had a.
Was it a floater? Because
no, it wasn't
because a lot of times it's such a small amount of spit that it if it catches the light, it's almost like a feather falling. That's what I call spittle.
No, it was more projectile speed.
Okay.
It was like
so it had some
drink.
It had some liquid. It had some liquid.
It was about that fast.
It was a line
drink.
drive. Please
Drink.
don't hit me.
Well, he was above me, so it was like drink, 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 and it came in, and I was like.
Based on all the evidence, I believe this was purposeful. That's.
No, because nothing on his face said that he knew that it happened.
It went into your mouth,
but
did
I
it
don't
land
think
on your lip or into the tongue?
It landed on the inner lip. It was like.
Did you taste anything?
It was. I didn't try to taste anything.
Really?
I was just so taken aback. But
he must have had the carpaccio.
The next observation that I made is that I didn't say anything about it to the guy. And as a matter of fact, I remember consciously thinking, I'm trying to make sure I get this right because I think this says something about me. I remember consciously thinking that I was not going to acknowledge it. Like, I want to make sure the look on my face doesn't acknowledge the fact that his spit is now running down the inside of my lip. Now, I didn't feel it running down, but I was afraid that there might have been that much.
Do you think he saw it? Because sometimes if the light isn't right, you don't know it happened.
His face didn't say, his face didn't say, "I know I just spat it in your mouth." But my face was also trying not to say, "Hey, dude, I know you just spat in my mouth."
Well, because it would be awkward. You're going to be like, "Hey, bro, you just spit in my mouth."
Yeah, the damage is done. I mean, I didn't think it was malicious. I didn't think he was like hawking it.
I want another waiter
to do another one, like he was conjuring up a second batch. There was none of that happening. So I just kept it to myself. As a matter of fact, I didn't even say anything to Christy when he walked off. I was like, I don't want anything else to drink.
Yeah, because you might kiss her later, and she's like, "But you got that waiter spit in your mouth."
That's not what I was thinking either. I was like, I just want to act like this didn't happen. I think that's what was going on in my mind.
Did she see it happen?
She didn't see it happen.
The lighting wasn't right.
And when we were leaving the restaurant, that's when I finally brought it up. And maybe it was because the guy was still there, and I didn't want her to have this awkward time the whole night with the guy. I just wanted it to be between me and him, this awkwardness that had to be there. So I told her when we were leaving, I was like, "Christy, when he offered to get us a drink right at the beginning of the date, he spat in my mouth." And she was like, "Oh gosh, really?" And that was it. She didn't question, well, you didn't say anything, because it seemed normal to her not to say anything.
Right.
So is that normal? You know, have you ever been spat in your mouth? Leave a comment below. I think there's...
This has happened to me multiple times. Multiple times. I've been the giver and the taker.
Now,
Because-
are you telling... Have I spat in your mouth?
I'm sure you have. We have desks.
It's like eating spiders.
Well, for years, we had desks that faced each other.
Chances are you're going to eat 15 spiders in your life.
Recently, that has changed, but
Yeah.
we're side by side now. However, surely it's happened, and I'm sure that we acknowledged it if it happened.
It could be happening right here on a microscopic level.
Well, that's definitely happening. But I'm saying that I have been at a party or something, I've seen it leave, and I've got a really good
Seen it leave.
I've got a really good trajectory. I can hit people on the top of the head a lot of times. I mean, I can get in people's eyes because I'm always, unless it's a tall man, and
Gravity works to your advantage.
and if
when
I get one of the flyers, I can reach somebody taller than me because it catches the wind and goes up. But those aren't nearly as awkward. But I don't think anyone has ever pointed it out to me when it's happened, and I've never pointed it out.
Now,
Especially with a stranger.
It's funny this happened to me because the next day at work, in this environment, I was talking to Ben, who was sitting right over there, and I was just having a conversation with him. I remember I was really into something, and then I was in the middle of a statement, and then all of a sudden Ben's like, whoa, 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 and he literally takes 3 steps backwards. Do you remember this? And I was like, what? He was like, what? You almost spit in my... You didn't say spit in my mouth. No. But you were like...
Spit in my direction.
It's like there was spitting coming out. And, I mean...
Well, that's because you know each other well. I really feel like
Yeah.
it's how well you know
It was
each other.
still awkward, though.
But I think for people that you don't know, like your waiter, I believe this applies in so many situations. Somebody lets out a fart. You know, like you're in a situation, you're like in yoga class and somebody farts, or you're in a conversation with somebody. Somebody does one of those like, burps in the middle of us. I
Yeah.
just think you should just be able to.
I'm really good at just playing it off.
No.
Like my face just goes...
This is what the social timeout is for. I've tried to institute this before, and it's just like if I'm sitting there and a guy says drink and it goes in my mouth, I'm like, whoop, timeout. Just want to acknowledge you spit in my mouth. I'm gonna get it out now. You know. And I also,
Because I did not even dab it. I was frozen.
you should have been able to take the napkin off of your lap, if assuming you have good manners. You wipe it down, and then you take a drink of water. A drink of water. Now,
He would have felt horrible. I guess that's
because
why
the
I didn't
social
do it.
timeout is an opportunity to make a decision. It could be like, all right, you know what? No hard feelings. I'm going to wipe my mouth. But if like you're on a date with somebody, it's like a first date and
Yeah.
it's going well, and then she accidentally spits in your mouth, you might want to send a message and be like lick your lips like that,
Do that to them, not to me.
and be like, I just ate your spit.
Don't do that to me or do that to them.
Because
Do that to no one.
This date is going so well. I'm just saying, you call a timeout and then you make a decision.
You're saying so if you like a person who spat in your mouth, you do the timeout symbol and then you do the...
The timeout always, the timeout has to happen every time. Timeout, I'm about to lick my lips.
Because you spit on me.
Yeah.
But I liked it because I'm interested in you.
If you think that the social timeout should be a new social convention, then please comment below. If you think there's a better idea, or just let us know how you react when somebody spits in your mouth.
And you know what time it is.
This is Jonathan Bake Jr. from Greenville, South Carolina, and it's time to spin that wheel of mythicality.
I gotta figure out a good protocol for this here. All right, remember at the end of this episode, when this is over, click through to Good Mythical More. That's the show after the show. More things happen.
The longest handshake ever. You gotta do the same thing I'm doing, man. Time out, man. You just spit in my mouth.
Time in. I liked it.
What?
Have I spat in your mouth? And you haven't said anything?
No doubt that if you've ever spit in my mouth, same thing. That's what I would do.